Hi, welcome or welcome back to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Maria Andrea and Happy New Year. Today I am doing a double header tag because I was absent from this tag series that I'm doing for the 12 tags of Christmas because it was New Year's Eve and I had a really long day. So today on New Year's Day, I want to do a double header. The first tag that I will be doing in this video is the winning title tag. I was tagged back in July by Pat at Book Chat with Pat and Gina at the Library Mouse Gina. Thank you both for tagging me, and I'm sorry it's been so long in getting to it. So the winning title tag is a really fun one. It is a tag in which every prompt answers the question, have you ever bought a book? So let's get started. Question number 1 is, have you ever bought a book because it had a funny title? And I have two to share. So I have Caramba by Nina Marie Martinez. I think I picked this one up a few years ago at my local indie. And it's a used book. Caramba, the title means maybe a mild exasperation. In Spanish, you'd say like ay caramba or caramba, like oh my or OMG or what the heck, depending on it could be like positive, it could be slightly like surprising, like OMG, or it could be a little bit like a slight frustration, like ay caramba, like oh my goodness, oh my, oh darn. So could be used either way depending on how you fix your face to express it. So this one I picked up because it was funny, has a funny title, Caramba. And I'm wondering if it's gonna be like Caramba, like surprising, funny, or Caramba, like a series of unfortunate events that are just funny. I liked the blurb by Sandra Cisneros. Sandra Cisneros, author of The House on Mango Street and Caramelo, blurbed this and said, Caramba is about 6 characters in search of a volcano. It's Thelma and Louise on the border, and Nina Marie Martinez really knows her stuff, zanier than a telenovela, funnier than a Mexican cowboy western. And that sold it to me. I think this is going to be a really funny book once I actually read it. I haven't read it yet. The other funny book I wanted to mention is this one. Another one I haven't read. I purchased this one a few years ago. It's a signed copy of Rachel Bloom's I Want to Be Where the Normal People Are. I thought this was hilarious. Question number 2, a shocking title. For this one, I picked Defectors by Paola Ramos. The subtitle of this was The Rise of the Latino Far Right and What It Means for America. I picked this one up last year in the fall, just before the election. I read it. It was my comfort read in the month of October, as I was having some political anxiety. But the title, Defectors, and the subheading, or the subtitle, it shocked me in a way where maybe it made me think that it was sending a warning. It was sending I feel like this whole book was sounding about, and I need to do a review. Like I've been wanting to do a review on this book, but hopefully in this year I can wrap my brain around it and actually get a good review done for it because I have a lot of thoughts I'm still processing. Question number 3, have you ever bought a book because it had a title that sounded like a line of poetry? I want to do a plug for the February book that I chose for the Books and Bocadillos book club that I'm hosting here on my channel and on Discord. Our February book is Olga Dies Dreaming by Xochitl Gonzalez. The title of this book is actually a line from Pedro Pietri's poem, Puerto Rican Obituary. I think, yeah, I'm looking at the information I have. It was a poem that was written in 1969, and it's about the Nuyorican experience and Puerto Ricans in New York and their experiences. And so Olga Dice Dreaming is a line in that poem. So check this out. Maybe consider if this is something that you'd like to read with us in February. This is what's coming up in the Books and Bocadillos. Currently, we're reading Lost Children Archive by Valeria Luisa Lee. Next one is, have you ever bought a book because it had a title which made me ask a question? Yes. So I went through the 1000 books to read before you die list, and I selected the titles that were questions. So I've read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and I'm pending to read Are You Somebody by Nuala O'Phelan. And this year I read Can't We Talk About Something More Pleasant by Roz Chast. And this is a graphic memoir, and it was really, really great. I really enjoyed it. I felt like this was very real, and it really told a complete like view of um, being in the sandwich generation and being the person that's taking care of aging parents, especially as they begin to have limitations in their level of functioning, cognitive limitations, falls, need more supervision, more care. And so Roz is grappling with the changes that are happening, and her dynamic, the family dynamic, the avoidance. There's a history of avoidance, as the title implies. Can't talk about something more pleasant when you're always putting off those difficult conversations. So this was a really, really great book. I highly recommend. Next is, have you ever bought a book because it had a heartwarming or homely title? I chose a Homey Life by Molly Weisenberg. I have not read this either. It's on my shelves to read. I picked it up because it had the home in the title, A Homemade Life. And I've heard really great things about it. Have you read this book? This book is one that I always say I want to read this year and haven't gotten to it. Next, have you ever bought a book because it had a title with an unusual combination of words? Yes, I purchased this book this year because it had an unusual combination of words, and the words all were interesting words to me. And this is Animal Vegetable Junk by Mark Bittman. A history of food from sustainable to suicidal. All of that sounds very intriguing. Vice President Al Gore blurbed it, and that's on the front. It says, a must-read for policymakers, activists, and concerned citizens looking to better understand our food system and how we can fix it. This sounds like a really, really interesting book, and these random words, animal, vegetable, junk, a history of food from sustainable to suicidal, all of that intrigues me. Next, have you ever bought a book because it had a fantastic or magical title? So I bought a whole series because of this title. I collected all the series, and my local indie children's bookstore in my area, a Storybook Garden, the bookseller there helped me collect this series. So one of book one is somewhere either here or in the living room as like a Christmas tree decor. I chose this one. This is book 3 to show here on camera. This is Catherine M. Valente's The Girl Who well, the Fairyland series. So every book in the series has a girl who, and then something Fairyland. So this one, book 3, is The Girl Who Soared Over Fairyland and Cut the Moon in Two by Catherine M. Valente. So this is September, the story of September. She looks like she's grown up a bit in this one. When we meet September in book 1, she's a little girl, and here she looks like she's either like a tween or a teen. So, I don't know. There's dragons on the cover and cutting the moon in two. That sounds very intriguing. Have you ever bought a book because it had a title which is a contradiction or describes the impossible? Yeah. I picked Garlic and the Vampire by Bree Paulson. Garlic and vampire, two things that garlic kills vampire, but this is a book about garlic and the vampire. And it is such a cute graphic novel. I think that there are more. I think this is a series, and there's going to be more in the series by Brie Paulson. This is the only one I have. So I think there's one, The Witch, and another vegetable. Is it Garlic and the Witch, or is there another? But this is a fun read. I had picked up a title, and I don't know. I had picked this one, and I don't know what I picked it for. I just dropped Garlic. Snotgirl. Green Hair Don't Care by Bryan Lee O'Malley. I think maybe I had picked this one for a funny title, Snotgirl. But this has been a really fun graphic novel series. I am on book 3. I think my next one will be book 4. I don't have book 4 yet. So that is it for the winning title tag. Now, if you want to stick around, I'm going to do the rapid fire tag. I just saw this tag on a couple of channels. I haven't been tagged to do this one. Rapid fire, so I'm not prepared. I'm just going to answer. The last video that I saw of this one was the rapid fire tag by Pa at Book Chat with Pa. 1. Ebook or physical book? Ebook. Question number 2. Paperback or hardback? Paperback. Question number 3. Online or in-store book shopping? In-store book shopping. Question number 4. Trilogies or series? Series. Question number 5. Heroes or villains? Heroes. Question number 6. A book you want everyone to read? Oh, I've been wanting everyone to read Martita, I Remember You, or Martita, Te Recuerdo by Sandra Cisneros. I think that's a really great book. I'll just leave it at that. I'm thinking of another one, but moving on. Question number 7. Recommend an underrated book. An underrated book. I'm going to say Season of the Swamp by Yuri Herrera. I'm currently reading this book. I haven't finished it yet. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. I do think it's underrated. I do think it's really interesting. It's historical. Well, it's historical fiction, but it's also like an imagining of Benito Juarez's time in New Orleans. It's really interesting. Next is question number 8. The last book you finished. The last book I finished was Olive Again by Elizabeth Strout. 9. The last book you bought. The last book I bought was probably, is it this one? I think this is the last book I bought. Promises of Gold, Promesas de Oro, collection of poems by Jose Olivares. And it's one of those books, kind of like Martita, I Remember You, Martita Te Recuerdo, where it flips. Like this is Martita Te Recuerdo, and this is Martita, I Remember You. This one does the same thing. This is Promises of Gold in English by Jose Olivares, and then flip it over and you have Promesas de Oro by Jose Olivares. The translator is David Ruano Gonzalez. Next. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. The weirdest thing I've used as a bookmark. A paperclip, I think. I also had a clothing tag I've used as a bookmark recently. 11. Used books, yes or no? Yes, definitely. 12. Top 3 favorite genres. Sci-fi, horror, romance. 13. Borrow or buy. Buy. 14. Character or plot. Character. 15. Long or short books. Long. 16. Long or short chapters. Short chapters. 17. Name of the first 3 books you can think of. Well, Les Miserables because I was thinking about long books, and Middlemarch because I was thinking about long books, and Dune because I was thinking about long books. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say, so I went with long books. 18. Books that make you laugh or cry. Cry. 19. Our world or fictional worlds? Fictional worlds. 20. Audiobooks, yes or no? Yes, definitely. 21. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Absolutely. 22. Book to movie or book to TV? I'm going to say book to TV. I'm currently watching Claudia Piñero's Thursday Night Widows, Las Vidas de los Jueves. It's a TV series on Netflix, and I finished reading the book with my friends at the Piñero Project, so I started watching the adaptation, the TV adaptation, so I'm going to go with TV adaptation. 24, series or standalones? Series. 25, tag others. Tag, you're it. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hasta la próxima.